Hi guys, hope you're doing well. Today in math, we're starting a new concept on angles. Yesterday, I had you guys go on an angle scavenger hunt to introduce angles to you and prepare you for this new concept that we're learning. I hope you guys had fun doing the angles, and I hope you kind of understand what they are now, and it will help out with today. So for today, you guys are going to learn some new vocabulary words that are going to be super important for this chapter, and also going on in math for the next couple of years, you're going to need to know these vocabulary words. So I'm going to go over these vocabulary words first, then you guys are going to learn how to name an angle. Now, these vocabulary words, it's super important because you're definitely going to see them on SBAC when you do take them. You also will see them on the MI eventually, or some of you might have already seen these vocabulary words. I know that some of you on iStations and maybe Prodigy, but and the MI, I've seen some of you guys do problems on angles, and some of you asked me like, what is this? And I either told you we're going to learn it, or I couldn't help you because you were doing the MI. So this vocabulary is definitely going to help you with that. So I just want to start off with four vocabulary words for today. The first one, which you guys learned yesterday, is angle. An angle is when two rays, the word ray we're going to learn next what that means, but it's when two rays share the same endpoint, they form an angle. So yesterday I told you guys it's when two lines meet and they share the same endpoint, they form an angle. So I said, for instance, we'll draw a shape. When these two lines meet right here, that is an angle. So a square has four angles. On a triangle, right here is an angle because the two lines are meeting. So triangle has three. Now, we are going to be looking at angles that look like this. So as you can see, two lines, one line and another line, are meeting and they are forming an angle. And this is what we're going to be looking at for the rest of this chapter. And you're going to be learning how to measure them, you're going to be able to how to identify them, and then today you're going to learn how to name them. So that is an angle. You will also see this in here, right in between it. That is an angle, okay? So that's the first vocabulary word. The next vocabulary word, which I said we're going to talk about, is called array. So array is part of a line that continues without end in one direction. It has one endpoint. So I'm going to draw. I do have examples. And I'm just going to let you know, this anchor chart is going to be attached to the assignment, so you can always go back and look at it. Also, you can always go back to the video and watch me. Even if you Google these words, you'll get definitions and pictures to see what it looks like if you're still confused. But going back to array. Array is a part of a line that continues without end in one direction, and it has one endpoint. So this is array. It has one endpoint, and then it continues on. The arrow means it's continuing on. So this is called array, and usually has letters A, B. Or it doesn't have to be A, B. It could be any letters, but these points always have a letter to it. So another example of array is one endpoint, and it continues on to make this CD. Okay? You could even go, it's a little messy, sorry. It's hard to draw in the air. So see how the arrow is going up? You have your endpoint here. Let's do X, Y, and then it's continuing on this way. So this is the end of this line. It can't go any further that way, but it goes on that way. So array is a line that has one endpoint and continues on forever and ever. Then, when going back to angles, the two rays is what makes an angle. So if I had here's my first ray. Let's call this point A, point B. Now, point C. Now I have my angle. And see, there's two rays here, one here and one here. Okay? Now, next one, vertex. Vertex is the point at which two rays or line segments meet to form an angle. And then you can see my example over here, but I'm going to show you up close. And I'm sorry, I keep doing it up close because from my screen, this looks really small. And I know once it's done, it looks a bit bigger, but I want to make sure you're able to see it. So we have our two rays right here. And then right here, where they meet, that point, that's called the vertex. So this point right here, that is the vertex. And this is super important for when you're going to learn how to measure. You need to remember that the vertex is the point, right, where they meet. Okay? And then the last vocabulary word I have for today is called line segment. So a line segment is part of a line with two endpoints. So that means it doesn't continue on either way. I'm going to draw it. So see how there's an endpoint? Doesn't continue on this way or this way. So a line segment, remember that, a line segment goes on. It has two endpoints. So it doesn't continue, like it can't go any further past here. Okay? So that is the first part of today's lesson, is understanding these vocabulary words, which I'm going to ask you about on your assignment. Now, you guys are going to learn how to name an angle. Sorry, I had to pause it for a second. So what you guys are going to learn now is how to name an angle. So basically, the name of the angle is simply the three letters representing these points, with the vertex point listed in the middle. So it might be a little confusing to you, but I'm going to show you what it means to name an angle. So I'm going to draw an angle on here. Okay, guys, sorry, I had to pause that video again. My son's at the phase where he's doing a lot of talking now, so he's just yelling sounds, and I didn't want him to yell over the video. Okay, so we're learning how to name an angle. So I drew the angle, and you're going to see an angle looks something like this, and you have letters. So all it is to name an angle is you're going to draw a little angle symbol, really small, and then you're writing it in order, A, B, C. All it means to name an angle is you're writing the letters. And when I said the vertex is the letter that's always listed in the middle, here's that vertex right here. It's listed in the middle. So you can also write it C, B, A. So how to name an angle? All you're doing is making a little angle symbol and writing A, B, C, or it could be C, B, A. You can also write it as just angle B because of the vertex. Okay, so that's how you name an angle. I'm going to do another one. Okay, notice I drew it the opposite way now. So angles could go either way, and we're going to talk about that too in this upcoming week. So we have point E, F, G, where F is the vertex. So all you're going to do to name it is little angle symbol, E, F, G. Make sure the F is in the vertex. It's the vertex, and make sure it's in the middle. Or you could write G, F, E, or F is still in the middle. Or you could just write angle F. So that's how you name an angle. I'm going to do one more with you guys, okay? And let's do this angle. Now, I've been making my two rays, the two lines that connect, super close together, but this is also an angle, okay? Because there's two rays and they meet at a point. So I'm gonna name this. So why don't you guys try on your own? Why don't you pause the video, see if you can write it down on your own, and then play it and see if you got the answer. So you're gonna write the little angle symbol first, and you could do X, Y, Z, or Z, Y, X, or you can just write Y. So there's three ways to write it. Now, this is easy just looking at these, but it's super important because I'm going to attach a video and you're going to see why you're going to need to know these letters or the angles. When we get into measuring, you might see angles. Sorry. You might see something like this, where you have three different rays coming together to meet at the vertex. This is an A, sorry, but it might say measure the angle AYZ. So then you know you're measuring this angle. So that's why it's important, why we need to know what the letters of the angles are. And so like I said, I'm going to attach a video. I suggest watching it because in case you're still confused on how to name angles, you could watch that video and it will also show you something that looks like this and why it's important to name those angles. Now, for today's assignment, I'm going to have different definitions that you need to tell me the definitions of these vocabulary words. I'm going to put questions on about naming the angles. Now, I know I said you need the symbol to name the angle, so like X, Y, Z. If you can't get the symbol, it's okay, as long as you're getting the letters, okay? Because I know the symbol is like, can't find it on the keyboard. But I need these letters for anything like going on the rest of the week. If I have anything that has asking you the name of an angle, if you can't get the angle symbol, it's okay. I just want the letters, okay? So that is going to be your work today. Hopefully you understand this. If you have any questions, just write to me on Google Classroom. I'll try to find some more videos to send you if you're still confused. But like I said, you can always come back and watch this. I'll put this up on the assignment, and I'm going to put another video. Another thing I want to go over for tomorrow. You guys are going to go on iStations for math. I don't see everyone going on. It is part of your daily assignment. So tomorrow you need to go on iStations. I didn't assign any assignments because we just started angles, and their angle assignments are stuff that you need to learn still. So when you log in, you'll usually see like it says assignments. I think it's a backpack. And then it says ISIP, ISIP. You guys usually go into that one when there's no assignments. Just go into there, go on, do a few lessons. And yes, I see the time. I showed you guys this in class. I can see the time of how long you're on. So don't go on for 30 seconds and then log off because that doesn't count. You should be going on for at least 20 minutes every day. I think that's how long it's taking some of you with assignments, but you should be on for at least 20 to 40 minutes each day. Okay? So I hope to see all of you guys on iStations tomorrow. All right? I hope you like this, and I will see you guys. I'm going to do another video on Thursday. All right?